What's up, Cachorrites? Welcome back to a Cachorro movie review. Lazy editing Cachorro, so we just try to pop everything in. We're just doing all in one recording with the intro and everything like that instead of doing the video editor. So I saw a couple days ago on Friday. I'm recording this on Sunday. But I saw the infamous Supergirl. It took me a while to get to it because it's certain movies I try and go to and see with my brother, and so this is one I kind of we had to wait for our schedules to kind of align so we could go meet up and see it. So, is the movie great? No. Is it the worst thing that's ever been made on the planet and this is like a big, huge, steaming pile of crap? No, it's not. Social media people overreact to everything, and that's all social media is. It's all about negativity. It's all about being negative about everything. And sorry to go on a little political rant to start the video, but right now, what we have going on right now is a coalition of MAGA Christians, misogynist men in the Snyder cult that are all on the same page. So they're going to hate everything DC unless it's a white male lead or a sexy chick with her boobs out. And we'll prove, and I'll prove this point later on where we talk about some other stuff here. They act like this movie's terrible. It's not. It's just okay. It's the movie's literally it's just an okay movie. It's nothing really big about it. There's nothing, it's a decent movie. There's some good action in it, some good story beats in it, some good spots, and some good performances by a couple of the people, and some people are just kind of just meh. So overall, the movie's just all right. So the two TLDR, it's a 6 out of 10. That's how I give it a 6 out of 10. It's slightly better than average. It's a decent watch. It's I mean, and its box office assumes that everyone's like yelling about its box office not being great. I mean, what did people think this movie was going to make $100 million? That's Supergirl. She's not even. She's maybe a top 200 comic book character. Maybe that's counting Marvel. Marvel, all comic book characters combined. Maybe she makes the top 200. I mean, if you're looking at DC alone, maybe I guess she's at the back end of the top 100 DC characters. It's like she's like a Guardians of the Galaxy type character. She's this there. She's not Batman. She's not Wonder Woman. She's not Green Lantern or the Flash. Maybe she's a little higher as DC. Maybe she's top 50 DC. But she's definitely not a top 100 comic book character if you add in Marvel and stuff like Spawn and Red Sonja. Red Sonja probably Vampirella. It's just Supergirl. So it has passed 100 million because they had a huge drop off. That was the other. So the opening weekend box office, everyone uses it to diss the movie. Oh, it only made this much money. Which hold on, we'll get that exact figure for you real quick here. I gotta scroll to the bottom. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta switch this back because now it's showing me like everybody it's showing like the entire cast and crew. Oh my. Okay, whatever setting I turned on, I need to turn off on IMDb here. Can I get to the? Jesus Christ! This is like the whole fucking character. That just makes me want to restart the video again. Additional crew, production company. Ha! Finally down to the gritty stuff. Boy, box office should be way further up. Ha! There. Finally, sorry. Ha! Opening week was 37 million domestic U.S. Canada, 100 million worldwide. It's now oh, I guess it doesn't have this week. It's already past. Oh, I guess that's not opening weekend worldwide. I guess that's the whole worldwide. All right, so 58 million U.S., 100 million worldwide. So I don't know. It's worldwide opening. It was like 7. I think after it's worldwide opening, put it around 70, which we already know is comic movies are not doing well in other countries. Superman. That's where Superman struggled. Fantastic Four, Captain America, Thunderbolts, all fucking bombed. overseas, and those movies bombed worse than Superman even bombed. Or Superman didn't even bomb. Superman, people keep saying Superman bombed. It didn't bomb. It made money. Even if you're crazy little movie math that all the people love to do, their fake little movie math, they have no idea if any of it's true. But that's their going rate. It's bona fide fact that you gotta divide it in half and times it by 2.5 and carry and multiply it by pi and do all this stuff, and that's exactly what a movie needs to make to break even. None of that shit is true. You don't know any. You don't know the marketing costs. You don't know production. You don't know tax breaks. You don't know merchandise. There's a whole much shit you don't know that you can't factor in. You don't know the movie revenue, movie tickets. Oh, it's 50% of movie tickets. Not always. Newsflash, not always. Sometimes the companies get a higher split. Like bigger, some movies they get a 70 split. Hate to break it to you. You don't know. You're guessing. It's a guessing game. They came out and said they viewed Superman as a success, and even by any kind of logic, Superman just needed to make 600 and something million to go green. It made that in the box office, but guess what? It makes more. It made more money from digital sales, digital rentals, physical sales, streaming licenses. If it shows up on Netflix, guess who paid for it? Netflix paid Warner Brothers to put it on there. I don't know if it showed up on Netflix or not, but it probably will at some point. Or it shows up on TV channels. They paid for that. So Superman is well past $700 million and is well past as a success story for as a successful movie. All it proved was the worldwide box office. Worldwide doesn't care about comic book shit no more. Spider-Man will do great because it's fucking Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the biggest character on the planet. He's people trying to compare this with Supergirl is stupid bullshit because, like I said, Supergirl's not even a top 100 character. Spider-Man is the number one character. And we'll see how Avengers Doomsday does because we know they're banking on RDJ being the thing that's going to save that movie. It's a bait and switch ploy to get people into the movies. Like, hey, we're gonna bring him back in. Y'all loved him. He's now the bad guy. It's it's a gimmick. Just to get you into. It's a trick to get you into in the seats. And people are stupid. They'll fall for it. You are. I'm sorry. It's the truth. You're stupid. You fall for stupid gimmicks. So, yes, Supergirl was nowhere close going to do something like that. Ha, 37 is maybe a little lower. At best, I was probably saying maybe around 50 million US was probably where we would hit. I mean, Toy Story came out the week before. Massive kids movie. It's doing massive numbers. Of course, you're not gonna. People are gonna take their kids to see that movie. Supergirl doesn't really look like a kids movie. They kind of gave it more adult themes, which everyone pisses on that. But that's what you all loved about the Snyderverse. It was dark. Now you hate Supergirl because it's dark. It's ridiculous. It's like the hate and the cope people come up with these stupid stuff. And then the second weekend drop was 74%. You know why? Because Minions came out. Another huge kids movie. Even though that technically underperformed. Which was because of the fact that the 4th of July was on Saturday. Nobody went to the fucking movies on Saturday. People were busy partying and pool parties and fireworks and all that shit. Nobody wanted to go to a fucking movie on the 4th of July. Usually the 4th of July falls on like a weekday, so it's the 4th of July weekend, so people do their fireworks. So it fell on like last year, it fell on Friday. Yeah, we didn't have a leap year. So last year was a Friday, which means Saturday was open, so people would go to the movies on Saturday. Well, when the holiday's on a Saturday, then people are doing the holiday on Saturday. And that's been proven already because ticket sales has already been reported. Ticket sales for 4th of July weekend are usually in the 150 to 200 million range, and this year was like 120. So showing that, yeah, less people went to the theaters. Also, the fact that you got inflation, and then you got all the basic, same other stuff as you got going on as ways. Inflation. People don't care about the box office theaters anymore because of streaming. All that's still played. People always like try to undercut that the importance on what that's done to the movie theaters. It's destroyed them, folks. It's destroyed them. People don't go see 4 movies a fucking month anymore. And when you have 2 kids movies, Supergirl, um, What else is coming out? Odyssey, Spider Man, all due out this month. Not mentioned, if you go back to last month, we still had the He Man movie. We had two horror movies that everyone was fell in love with. We had a scary movie. The Steven Spielberg Alien movie. Yeah, sorry, movies are you're overloading people's bank accounts there. They can't go to all the movies. So I said Regal Pass, movie passes, they're worth it. Two movies and they usually pay for each other. Although be careful because they do like to increase the price of them without telling you. Because my Regal Pass has gone up like twice and I never got any information about that. But I digress. So there's all kinds of problems, reasons. So a 74% drop in its second weekend for a movie that had just a mediocre box office. Yeah, that's not surprising. That's yeah, what I somewhere expect. He-Man, I think, had a bigger drop. Badlands, which had also mediocre opening, um, had like a 68, 69% drop. So yeah, since it's a movie that's got a huge buzz around it, or it's been a hugely, highly anticipated movie, it's going to have a bigger drop because people are going to move on. It's going to get less screens to make room for. I mean, you need several. I mean, Toy Story's probably got several screens, and then you got Minions. It's going to require several screens to keep up with this thing. So yes, so some movies are losing screens. So all this hype about why it dropped is over the top ridiculous. Like I said, overall, it's just an okay movie. It's not the worst movie that's ever been made, like they're making it out to be. It's not even the worst movie I've seen in the last year. People seem to forget this movie fucking exists. This came out last 4th of July weekend, and it's still a huge pile of turds. I will watch Supergirl easily over this movie again anytime. I still never watched this a second. I'll be honest, I've still never watched this a second time since it's been on streaming and stuff. I've still never watched it again. I haven't even bought the DLC for Jurassic World Evolution 3 because I don't fucking want. There's stuff in it that sounds really cool, but I don't want to. I'll buy it when it goes on sale for the stuff that I want. I have no plans of using those two fucking moronic looking stupid things, the Rancor and Rodan, in any of my parks, unless I'm forced to use them. They're stupid looking. They're retarded. The movie was stupid. Sorry for using that word. I don't got a better word to use, but they're just the stupidest looking things in the world. I already didn't like the I'm going. I don't go down. I can make a whole video about this movie, so we'll get off of it. So we will try not. I'm trying not to go down that tangent. But yeah, that came out a year ago, and that's still by far the worst movie I've seen in the last year. It's, I think I gave it a 4, and that's just because the actual dinosaurs and stuff in the movie was good. Otherwise, it's like a 3. So let's see. So about the movie. So what do we? So if I get back to the cast, obviously. I guess well, I'm getting there. I guess I can start. So our main character is Supergirl. Obviously, she's played by Miley Alcock, who everybody loved in Game of Thrones. And then at first, everybody was like really liked that she got casted. Then all of a sudden, everyone just turned on her out of the blue because I guess they didn't think she was hot enough. And she did some presser interviews where they're supposed to give PR speech things. And she's asked about that. People always get the actors. Why do you first off, why do you fucking care what an actor thinks or says? Who fucking cares? She said this. Who fucking cares? They have opinions. You have opinions too, especially the right wing people. You love Donald Trump. I think you're fucking retarded. Does that matter? I don't care. Okay, I said it. God damn it, I keep saying that. Sorry. But it's like people are allowed to have opinions. So she was getting attacked by I guess these Christian dead people that were like attacking her online. So she just kind of made a comment about them, and then they got all pissed off. And somebody asked her about Supergirl being like bi or something like that, and she jokingly answered, "Ah, sure, she's kind of goes that way." It's called PR. She's just trying to give a friendly answer to the person asking the question. She has no control of the character. The character, in no way, shape, or form in the movie, comes off as any having romantic interest towards anyone. It's just called PR. There, finally, we're at the top. God, I gotta change this back. It's terrible. Huh. But I think she does fine. She does fine in the movie. I mean, I had no issues with her being Kara. I mean, you get some Superman in the movie. He just has these little bits and parts. I mean, just kind of his stuff maybe could have been a little better. I think they kind of still played there. May have been over the top with his golly. I mean, they're trying to obviously make him the more bright and lappy character than he was in the Snyderverse, where he was just all dark and gloomy all the time, which did not fit Superman. So they're counteracting that by making him super Boy Scouty. I mean, he is. It's what Superman is, so that's supposed to be how his character is. People who don't know Superman don't seem to know that. They it's supposed to be like, no, he's not. He's never. There's no been nothing portrayed of him. Every other portrayal of him, he's a happy-go-lucky, sappy guy. Cartoons, TV shows, Christopher Reeves. He was all the happy Boy Scout guy. So sorry to break it to you. The kid character Ruthie, played by Eve Ridley, she was kind of meh. She was kind of annoying. I'll admit that. So I didn't. Her character was kind of eh. Our bad guy Krem, played by Matthias Schoenaerts. He's a scummy bad guy, but he was just. I mean, he's also kind of pretty meh. He's not a big villain, but I mean, it's the first movie. You don't need Dark Side in the first movie. The standout. For some reason, he's not even on here. Why is he not even on here? There he is, way down here. It was Jason Momoa as Lobo. Perfect casting. He was great. Amazing. He stole the scene. And as I was talking to my brother after this, is when I watched Aquaman, I saw Jason Momoa as Aquaman. When I watched this, I just saw Lobo. I didn't see Jason Momoa. I didn't. He didn't. I didn't think of Jason Momoa when I was watching this. I just saw the show, and it just felt like Lobo. So yeah, great casting. I'm happy he gets to be the character he's always dreamed of being. That Zack Snyder wouldn't let him be. Everyone keeps remember that. Everybody talks up about it. They bribed him into being Aquaman. In case you never go look up the interviews, you look it up. They had to talk him into it. He did not want to be Aquaman. They bribed him with the fact saying that his character gets to kiss Wonder Woman. That's how they got him to take the part. But I mean, then there's a bunch of other casting people that don't really matter. There's some throwaway characters, nothing really big. So those are the four that really matter. Two of them are good. Two of them are meh. I never read the comic, but from what I've read, it does a lot of stuff from the comic. Then there's some massive deviations it takes from the comic, so I guess that's enough to probably tick off some people. But I mean, they had to change it to kind of fit it into their universe. It is what it is. The story was, you know, all right, average. So it's just like I said, the whole movie's average. It's like an average, just barely above average movie. It's a 6 out of 10. So how you know the people that are hating on Miley's role on this is fabricated bullshit, is as I was mentioned before, and I was going to prove that, is from this right here. So now everyone's out praising Melissa's Supergirl. She was the perfect Supergirl. You motherfuckers are lying. I mean, I watched the show. I thought the show was okay. But everyone acted like they loved her so much. They hated her show. They hated her. They didn't think she was hot enough. They didn't think she was big enough in her outfit. So bad, her show was canceled by NBC. It was then picked up by the CW because CW had their own DC universe going and they thought they could mix it in there. Her ratings for that show were never that high. So people acting like now how much they loved her is full of shit. They all hated her when that show came out. The other big thing that they're all whining about is they wanted more of Sasha Callie. They loved her and she should have been Supergirl and they should have done more stuff with Supergirl with her. Bullshit. Y'all hated her too when she was casted because I'll show it here. She's technically Colombian. She's well born in America, but she has Colombian. She's as her parents were Colombian, so she has Colombian descent in her. She actually went back to lived in Colombia for a while. So they all hated her because she wasn't white. That's the truth. Why do they also now they love her and everything like that? Is because they deem she's hotter than Miley. That's why. That's the only reason why they. That's the only reason why they're claiming it now because now they find her hotter because they have one brain cell. So that just shows that's the hate that's going on against the actress. It's unjustified. I'm sure if Sydney Sweeney was playing Supergirl, all of a sudden they would have loved this movie. Even though, like I said, the movie's problems with the story and pacing, and it's got some good action scenes. It does have some slow drudging parts. Uh, so without how far are we into it? Can we go into spoilers at 22 minutes? So yeah, it's a 6 out of 10. Good. So now we'll break down the story a little bit. So turn off if you haven't seen the movie and you want to. So Supergirl is celebrating her birthday, her 23rd birthday, getting drunk on a red sun planet. We see the bad guy kills Ruthie's family from I don't. It's kind of very weird if he just because he doesn't technically just murder them outright. Her brother kind of just jumps out from a hidden thing that I guess he kind of reacts by throwing a knife he had in his hand and killing him. Then from there he starts killing everyone else. So it don't look like if it's not even clear at first he was planning on killing them. So it's like that part was kind of weird. So now she's trying to take her family. He was a blacksmith. He made swords. So she has her family sword, and she promises that whoever helps her, gets her to Krim so she can kill Krim, the bad guy. She goes to the bar where Supergirl's getting drunk, and Supergirl's obviously not want nothing to do with her. But then some other guys at the bar start trying to steal her sword. So then Supergirl's forced to do what's right. She gets her sword back, and now the girls are trying to be attached to her, and she doesn't want to help. But in the battle to kill her parents, his ship, Krem's ship, gets blown up. So he sneaks and steals Supergirl's ship and shoots Crypto with a poison dart, paralyzing him and then slowly killing him. So now Supergirl's involved because she has to get the antidote from him, which supposedly he carries with him. So then we get our interplanetary jumps where they're trying to track him down and they catch up with him. He gets away and they got to keep chasing after him. And we get some nice good hijinks, with some space pirates and some battles on that. Because we find out the Krem's also into a human trafficker who, not, I guess, they're gathering women to have babies with for his people. Because I guess his people only have men, and they need women to impregnate so they can continue their race. So we're going back and forth through there. So they do a couple bouncing arounds on some planets. At one point, Supergirl also gets the same poison, but she's able to fight it off because she's she's on a planet with a yellow sun, which means she has her powers. Which I think they did have a throwaway line saying that moving Crypto would be too dangerous, but technically that means all they had to do. So that means all they had to do is get Crypto on a spaceship and fly to a yellow sun, and then he'd be able to fight off the poison. So there's a little movie flub there. So they're trying to continue that. Even trying to take him somewhere would be that too dangerous. I guess is what they're trying to go with. But yeah, that technically copy could have solved the story because she's able to fight off the poison. We get Lobo comes into the scene. He's also tracking down one of Krem's. He's tracking a bounty on one of Krem's men. So their paths keep kind of roping around. Supergirl is aware of who Lobo is. He has his reputation, so we're going with the whole everybody, people, we're familiar with everybody in the universe, which is where I do think this DC is making the same mistake that the Snyderverse made, is that they just want to, instead of doing origin stories, they just want everyone to be pre-existing. I think that makes it hard on your fan base to get new people, because no one knows. Because I don't know, people act like they want to know where everybody came from. Oh, I need to know how this person started. I mean, do you really? I mean, does it matter? But sure. So I do think that's a creative choice that may. That's what I thought was bad about the Snyderverse too. Is Batman? They have an aged out Batman who's already had Robin and died in that movie. So kind of doing the same thing. Yeah, I mean, Superman at least was supposed to be still at the beginning of his career in the movie. Supposedly, he'd only been on the scene for a couple years. They said it was his first lost battle he lost at the beginning of the movie. So he started it. I mean, so it wasn't too deep into that movie, but like I said, just when you got Supergirl knows who she's aware of Lobo's reputation on who he is. Uh, Hijinks go. They get to a planet that has two suns, a green sun and a yellow sun. And a green sun, which I guess I've heard this is from the comic books, a green sun saps a Kryptonian of their powers. Oh, the one interesting part to bring up is we do get some flashbacks of Krypton through this part where she's getting powered up, where she's learning about how to do the thing that's good. And they do give kind of an explanation to kryptonite, which is actually pretty interesting, because there was coming. Kryptonite's always that weird MacGuffin, a shard of crystal formed from the destruction of their planet that is now dangerous to them. Supposedly, it's like it was some kind of something that was deep into the planet. I guess that with the so it was and it leaked out. So the Atlas City, I believe it was called, because they put a bubble around that city and they took the whole city, ripped out of the planet to save itself. That's pretty much from the comic book. And I don't know if this is from the comic, but in the movie, the people started dying they're dying there because when they ripped the planet, they guess this gas is something, whatever the kryptonite is like I said, was some kind of mineral or something in the planet, seeped into their soil and it was slowly poisoning them. So I guess supposedly, when the planet blew up, that's where this also is what spread kryptonite out into the galaxy. So all right, seeing some reason, I'm seeing some stuff on how what kryptonite is and how that came about. That's kind of cool. But apparently, as long as it's the color green, it hurts them because the green sun also saps them of their powers. So it's a green sun. It's not kryptonite though. It's just the color green, just saps some of their powers. But supposedly that is a comic book thing, so whatever. It's a comic book thing. Um, so the running gag through the trope of the whole store show as she has her suit in her spaceship and she doesn't want to wear it, and Ruthie's able to, after her ship gets stolen, somehow the little girl got a. So when they cut back up at one point, somehow the little girl got a hold of the suit and gave it to her, and she eventually like builds up the courage for the final act where she puts on the suit, which is a superhero movie trope. You always kind of get the point where they got to either get a new suit or they bring up to put on their suit and so they can wear the suit for the final act. Maybe that's a little overdone, but why am I still got Jurassic Park on here? Sorry, where are you, mouse? Take that back off. I don't know why we're not even talking about that, and some other reason I have that on there. But yeah, that's too bright to put on there. But so yeah, so she does the final act. She puts on her, so she gets the green sun sets, the yellow sun comes back up. She gets her powers back, and she goes to fight. Puts on her suit and goes to fight the bad guys and take out the whole bad guy army. And then I guess what everyone's calling the needle drop moment is after they defeat Krem, she talks the little girl out of killing him because to spare the little girl from having to forever live with the trauma of being a murderer. but then she takes the sword and kills him for everything he's done to the crypto, to the little girl, to all these women that he was trafficking. And everybody's making a big deal about that because she killed someone. Though I have a hard time believing she hasn't killed anybody she's fought in the movie so far. Well, it's far fetched. We're supposed to believe that all these people survived the beaten downs that she's given them, but these Superman kind of made sure they show in the slot where I thought he may have killed a bunch of people, made sure to show that they were protected by their suits and they're all kind of just hobbling away. This movie doesn't really show that the people that she beats the hell out of and shoots with her eye beams and stuff survive. I mean, there was the part with the pirates where she did not kill the pirates; she did take them captive. But when she's fighting Krem's men, there's definitely some scenes there that looks like she could have, probably may have ended a few of them in the fight. I mean, that you don't necessarily know for a fact she killed them, but she does beat them down pretty good. Do stuff, blow up stuff they're in and stuff like that. So I was like, I can't see how everybody survived that, but she kills the bad guy. Then she goes back home and runs into Superman, to which she says that she's ready to help him protect, to be, to be his, to help him be like him, protect the people, get to know the Earth people, and be a protector and stuff like that. So kids are coming up, she gets over her trauma and she's ready to move on to the sequel of Superman that's coming next year. So, like I said, it's got the good moral story. I mean, she kills the bad guy, so people are gonna make the big deal about that. But people love same people that are making a big deal about it. The same people that love Batman shooting people. Keep in mind. So Supergirl's not supposed to be 100% like Superman, who's tries definitely goes out. So, eh. I mean, supposedly though the comic book ending is they both choose not to kill him, and he gets banished to the Phantom Zone for 300 years until they finally release him. And then like Ruthie all grown up as an old woman, and her thing was she wrote a book about the whole story of the story of Supergirl, and in her fictional book she had Supergirl kill him with the sword. So the movie followed that, and there's talk about the writer of the script kind of got did not understand that part of the book or the story, so she messed up. Hypothetically, if true, it's okay. I mean, like I said, it's not a mashup with Supergirl, so it's not. Who cares? So like I said, if you're a big thrill of the comic books, you probably the story you might be a little pissed off about that part. I mean, they're always going to change something. It's a movie, so there's gonna be small iterations. No one, everybody wants to put their own vision and spin on things. People get mad about that, but that's what directors do. Directors don't just say, "Hey, I want to take this thing that already exists and just remake it in every way, shape, and form." No, there's always slight changes here and there, and different little avenues and twists. And they got to make this fit the ongoing universe, and so it is what it is. I mean, overall, the story of what the movie's not, like I said, is not great. So maybe they should have came up with a better story. But it is what it is. I think there was a spot at the end that thing that did stick out was they're doing the big action sequence with the little girl watching, and they did the whole thing where they put like a little rock song over Supergirl beating everybody up and somebody watching, kind of like they did with Lois. And I thought that was kind of tacky. I was like, you just did the same thing. It's like that's where I felt the director was trying to be too James Gunnish, trying to be like James Gunn. It's like make your movie, man. Don't make you don't have to copy his movie. And so that was a little too repeat from Superman, which I don't really hoping that's not gonna be the thing to try and push in every movie. I think that's really gonna be stale. It already felt stale doing it their second movie in a row. But Yeah, yeah. So at the end, I'm not saying this is a great movie that you should rush out and go see. It's not. I mean, it's worth a watch when you get to it. I mean, watch it on streaming. Maybe see it during afternoon when it's half price in the matinees. So, it's worth at least one worth a watch. It's just so you keep up the story and everything. It's just okay. I don't know. I might see some other stuff. I got might do some catch up on stuff I missed. I never made a He-Man video, so I don't know if I should still go back and try and make a He-Man videos, even though I saw that movie about a month ago. That video won't get much traction. I really liked He-Man. I loved He-Man. I will say that. That's all I'll say at the end of this. Uh, I did not see the two horror movies. That might the Obsessions and Backrooms. So I might possibly. I gotta get an oil change tomorrow. So, but I might see if one of the something like I think one of them. I think Obsession's still in theaters. I don't know. Backrooms might be too. I did not see the Steven Spielberg Alien movie. It did not look that interesting to me, and I've also heard a lot of people say it's. I've also heard it's not very good either. So I'm not in a rush to go see that. Didn't really care about scary movie. I really stopped liking scary movies after like the first two because it just got too repetitive. And I heard this one is it's too ham-fisted with everything. It's trying to push too much, too hard. I think that's all the June movies that came out. So that any interest that came out. So I might see some by catching some of them up. Outside for the rest of this month, the big hitters is Evil Dead. I will see that, and I'll probably make a review video for that. The Odyssey, I'm excited for. I don't care about the stupid backlash, moronic stuff people are whining about that movie. It's a fucking Greek. It's a fucking fairy tale. To be fair, it's an epic. It's a story based on an epic poem. None of the shit in it is true. Helena Troy never existed, and the story's not even about her to begin with. Achilles also didn't really exist. These are all made up characters. They're all like just pure. So I don't. You can have fun with a fairy tale. This thing that I loved reading that. I remember that story when I was a kid. I loved it. No, I'm cool. I want to see Christopher Nolan make a big epic movie about it. So I'm excited for that. And then we have Spider Man, which I have no fucking clue where that movie is going. The two things I will make early predictions if anybody gets this far in this video is all the talk about Scorpion being in the movie I feel is a red herring. I think he's probably going to be in the first. We're going to have an opening scene of him Spider-Man fighting Scorpion and he beats Scorpion in like the first 30 minutes. Is my prediction there. And Scorpion's not the bad guy. Thing I'm really hoping is everyone else is hyping for is Sadie Sink, and if everyone's saying she's Jean Grey, I really don't want her to be Jean Grey. I think she'd be a fine Jean Grey, but I don't like the idea of this concept that they're going to introduce Jean Grey out of the blue in a Spider-Man movie as just being someone that's on the run from this group that I guess they introduced in Marvel and Ms. Marvel. And I guess they're supposedly hunting the mutants, and Spider-Man's going to save her from, I guess, this group, I would assume. There's also a lot of this part in the trailer, she's doing a lot of pretty mean, evil shit, which is stuff Jean would never fucking do. Even if it's a scare Jean's not gonna. There's a scene where I guess she's supposedly talking to other people, which is not something Jean Grey's ever really done that I know of. She's more of a telekinetic than she is telepathy, and she like threatens.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I didn't say you. So I've not really ever noticed her ever using that kind of ability, and she's never really threatened people. Like there's a scene where she's like threatening Mary Jane and Ned, and that does not feel like her even any twist you put on it doesn't feel like Jean. So we'll see where that goes. I'm really hoping she's like just some other kind of character. I was hoping she was going to be Mayday, and so that definitely seems to be out. But we'll see where that goes. I mean, sure, everyone's going to go crazy about that movie because everyone always goes crazy about all the time. Holland Spider-Man movies, even if I think some of them aren't that good. First one was all right. The Mysterio one was all right. Those two were just okay to me. I don't like the over reliance on Iron Man too much. The third one that everyone goes crazy over because it has the cameos. Yes, the cameos are good, but the story was weak and dumb, and it made a lot of weird choices. And having Aunt May die, and then the whole plot of having everyone forget that who Peter Parker was is really stupid because that just there's too much out there for people to know who Peter Parker is. So did anything that's Peter Parker's ever done been erased? How about yearbooks, school paperwork, his social security card number, um, any photos he's been accredited to from like he's done photos of the Daily Bugle in this, hasn't he? I think can't remember what all he's done in this story in this universe. But there's like so much out there that should have his name on it, which so it makes no sense that no one remembers who he is. It would just made more sense to have everyone forget who Spider-Man was, or that would have made more sense. Because then you could also go back to people hating Spider, him having to build the reputation of Spider-Man again, and because right now you got Spider-Man's done a lot of stuff to save people, so Spider-Man should be for most people viewed a hero. But we're digressing. We're going off on super tangents here. But that's the rest of the movies for the month that to see. My movie roundup for the summer that since I haven't made one of these movie reviews in a while. So until next time, Cachorro out.